Hello, everybody. My name is Squared, and I am making a tier list slash power ranking video for the Champions League. We have 12 teams that are going to be participating in this league season one. There are two groups in this league, the Alpha Division or Group A and the Bravo Division or Group B. There are going to be 5 games played total in the regular season, which is what these power rankings are going to be based off of. We are not doing playoffs predictions. 4 teams out of each group will make the playoffs. The bottom 2 teams, sadly, will drop down into the qualifiers for the next season. In Group A, it is Double O Void, Homicide 5.2, KO Santos, OOG RPK, God's Favor, and Wild Boys Forever. And in the Bravo team, it is Wild Boys Obey, Wild Boys CC, The Order OOG, Yuck, Miami Neon, and Wild Boys Way. First, we're going to go over some of the rosters, just look at them, and then we will make the tier list afterwards. Alright, we're going to go from the top of the rosters downwards. So, Wild Boys CC, they actually own and created this league. They play with their same 5, basically most of their games. Vizsla, Crypto, Abolish, Quickie, and Stargazer. They seem to always play, but they also have really good subs as well. Wild Boys Obey, they're a really good team as well. For the most part, their team's really good. And they've got Andy's Term. That's the only player on there I really know, but I do know that their players are really good. Miami Neon, they're a really good team. Very heavy on strats, but sometimes I do know they could be losing some firepower, or they could use some more. They've got Bedmite, Watson, Shelky, Beeman. I mean, that's their main player. And Kit. Those are the main 5 that I normally see play. Wild Boys Forever, really good team. They are a mix of the Jaegerists and Forever, so it's kind of like a reunion because the Forever guys were players that broke away from Jaegerists back in the day. They've got Canada, Shucks Love, Gino, Shadow, and then I'm not even going to try to pronounce these other guys' names, the Narrow guys, but really good roster. Double O Void, really good team. I mean, all these teams are good, but they've been around for a long time, switching rosters. Mr. Pickles used to own the team, but now the mantle got passed down to YU Trippin'. I think this team could potentially make a good run. Yuck, everyone knows them as the Glybo team, or the Buddha team, but they really do have a ton of good talent on their team. Wild Boys Way, they seem to be a group of friends that just broke off from a bunch of other teams and came together, put Way at the end of their name, and now they're a D1 team. Now they're taking it serious, and they picked up Celebrity and X9 to join them, even though they're not part of the Way cult. Then there's God's Favor. God's Favor, they do have a player in their team that was on my team, very, very talented, but overall this team, full of gunners and have really good strats with Sincere being their IGL. This team could make some good upsets. The Order, in my opinion, they're probably the favorites for this tournament. They seem to always be the favorites, with Jeff Sicko being the rep of the team, and they have a bunch of other good players like Papafy, Adexi, DevK, Vux. I mean, I don't know all their players, but they're all just fraggers. They're all really good. Then there's RPK, which seems to be a mix of the newer version of the Jaegerists and Team Sin. They have Zoli, Rome Clear, and Mintcoat Miami from Team Sin. And then they've got NBA Wire and Bilo from the old Jaegerists, plus a bunch of other new players that seem to be really good and a good fit for the team. 5.2, they still have Stretch. They've always had Stretch. He's their captain. Everyone knows Stretch. But they have some players that broke off from their team, made their own team, and now they came back since that team disbanded. Tom the Bomber is back, and so is Mr. Snipe, Zemphi, and a bunch of their other players. This team, really good, although they did lose some more of their players recently who broke off. But 5.2, still a top team in my opinion. And then lastly, we have Santos. Santos, I think they're a good team. I think they just need more time together, and they will become probably a mid to top team, D1 team. They've got Pam and El Chile, who were part of Team Sin, and I'm close with some of the guys because they've used to be in our team. But then they also have a bunch of other really good players like Cody Third Leg, Supermom. Runner owns the team. He's always had good teams by his side. They've got Laser, Nullify. I mean, always swing. I mean, I can just name every player on this team and they're good. I practically did. Slam, they're all good. Sparks, I mean, he was gone for a while, but now he's back. Well, now that we went over the teams, now we can start the tier list. Let's start with the Alpha Division before we get into anyone on the Bravo Division. So again, the Alpha Division is Void, 5.2, Santos, RPK, God's Favor, and Forever. Those teams will verse one another in the regular season and not play anyone from the Bravo Division. We're going to start at the bottom. Remember, the bottom two teams, they don't make playoffs, but they also get demoted down to the qualifiers to fight for their lives to come back to the league next season. We're going to start off with, in my opinion, the bottom team. It's going to be Santos. I think Santos, they have potential. They could possibly upset, but I just don't think they have what it takes to make the playoffs right now. They have really good players, but they seem to compete with the top D2, low D1. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll be able to scrape together, get into fourth place, maybe even third. But right now, I think they're probably the bottom team. And then for the next team, I have it being Void. Void is good. I had a little trouble picking between the fourth place and the fifth place spot. But the other team, I just feel like the fourth place team will be able to cause more upsets than these guys. These guys, they've been around for a long time, and I do believe that they could totally, maybe even get like a second place finish. It's hard to choose some of these standings, but right now I had to put them down here just because those other teams that are above are either more consistent or I just see more upset potential. The fourth place team, I have it being God's Favor. God's Favor, really good team. A lot of gunners. And I've just seen them pull a lot of upset wins against some of those top tier teams. So I have them being at fourth place, barely make it to playoffs. Third place, I have it being RPK. RPK, they have a lot of gunners on their team. Really good team. Their mechanics alone can bring them really high and make a really deep run. But just because they're somewhat of a newly formed team, I feel like the third place is a good spot for them. And second place in the Alpha Division, I have it being Forever. Forever is a really good team. They, again, were a mix of Jaegers and then the Forever guys. And I think they will do really well. But I do see a lot of upset wins come against them. So just because of inconsistency, I'm going to put them at second place, leaving the last team being 5.2. 5.2, they lost a lot of their gunners who actually went over to Way. So I'm not really sure if first place is where they will end up, but they seem to be really consistent in the regular season. So I'm just going to put them here for now and hope that even with their new changes that they will stay consistent. Now we're going to go to Group B, or the Bravo Division, and rank their teams. For the Bravo Division, I'm going to have to put Miami Neon as the bottom team, sadly. They're a very strat-heavy team, but I feel like they lack firepower compared to some of the other teams in the division. So for now, I think that they could be in sixth place. Maybe they'll finish in fifth place, but for now, I'm just going to keep them here. For the fifth place team, I really struggled. Any of the teams could be in here. I feel like all five of these teams are really good. But just because of it being a newly founded team, I'm going to put Way. Okay, so Way, they have a lot of really good players. And the guys that left 5.2, they came the Way. Way, very strong team. I don't really know exactly who will win this division. It's a really tough division. I just feel like maybe just because of being newer and a bunch of friends getting together, that they might be in fifth place. In fourth place, I have it being Yuck. Yuck, they, in my opinion, I've just seen it being the Glybo team. That's what I've called it. But Glybo never really plays. But all their players really good, and I see them win a lot. They have a lot of experience under the belts, and I feel like they will make playoffs. whether it's fourth place, third place, second place. I don't think they'll win the division, but they are a good team and a force to be reckoned with. I have the third place team being the Order. I feel like the Order could win their division, but it seems like they kind of just scrape together to playoffs barely. Sometimes do the bare minimum to get there, but when they're in the playoffs, ooh, they're a whole different team. So everyone just watch out for the Order. And then second place team, a really good team. I have it being Obey. Obey, I've seen some teams upset against them before. They have a lot of really good players like Andy's term, and I think that they could make a really deep run. They're definitely going to make playoffs, but I have heard them having some forfeit issues before, so we'll just hope that they take this league really serious. And the top team of their division, I have it being CC. CC just takes regular season, playoffs, they take it all serious. So, them being the caliber of a team they are because of not even their mechanics, but their chemistry and how much they play together, I think that they will win their division and their own league. And this is my ranking. And the teams that do not qualify are Void, Santos, Way, and Miami Neon. And then the teams that do qualify are God's Favor and Yuck being fourth place, RPK and the Order being in third place, Forever and Obey being second, and the top of their divisions will be 5.2 and CC. I hope everyone enjoyed this video, and we'll see. Maybe next video will be just weekly updates, maybe roster changes, maybe predictions, maybe even clips. We'll see. And I will definitely try to get a video down when the qualifiers come for next season. Squared out. Have a wonderful day, guys.